This is Stephen, and this quantitative comparison is testing your knowledge of probability. A jar contains 5 candies, 2 orange and 3 green. 1 candy is selected at random and replaced. This means it's put back into the jar. Then a second candy is selected. So we have 2 events occurring. And whenever you deal with probability, it's helpful to write out the number of events that you have. So 1 and 2. Column A is saying the probability that both candies selected are green, and then column B, the probability the first candy selected is green. So we have 2 orange and 3 green. So let's look at column B. The probability that the first candy selected is green. So remember that in probability, it's possible outcomes over total. So for green, on the first go, we're saying 3 out of 5. 3 greens and 5 candies in total. So that is the value for column B. For column A, we're saying that both the candies selected are green. Now the candy was put back, so for the first instance, 3 out of 5 is the probability for the first pull that the candy is green. On the second pull, it's the same thing, 3 green out of 5 total. Now, the operation that takes place between these two is not addition, nor subtraction, nor division. You multiply these outcomes. Multiplying across gives you 9 out of 25. And you can compare these fractions just to make sure by multiplying the base or the denominator to the numerator of the opposing fraction, 45 and 75. This means that this fraction is the larger of the two. Now the reason that let's clear this up, that you multiply the events as opposed to add them, let's look what happens when we do that. So 3/5 in both cases. If you add 3/5 to 3/5, you get 6 over 5. This is over 1. This means that this has it basically means that it's going to happen. 1 and 1/5 are 1.2. That means the event's going to happen, and even more so, and that doesn't make any sense because there are orange candies and they can possibly be pulled. If you do subtraction, that gives you 0. That means it will never happen. And then if you do division, that's the same thing as saying 3/5 times 5/3. That gives you 15 over 15. Well, that's also 1 and also means that it will absolutely happen. And that doesn't make any sense with the orange candies in play. So your operation must always be multiplication. So that means that column B is your answer.